They come again and again in dreams to him, beckoning with finger raised. Then he wakes and wonders if they were friend or foe, if they bring peace or mean him ill. Here, behind me, is one of the most famous Viking burial mounds. It was built 1,000 years ago for a man named Egbert the Rich, whose wealth was considerable, whose power over the northern North Sea was absolute. And yet his legacy has been all but erased, leaving only this great mound and the echo of his name. And that got me thinking about something that we don't often think about. What happens to the Vikings after they died? We know so much about their raids and their politics and their daily life. But what happened when one of their number passed on? Did they have an afterlife? Was there a place for them in the great halls of Valhalla? Or did they simply cease to be? Well, join me now, won't you, as we look at 5 terrifying facts about the army of the dead. 5. They emerge from Niflheim, the realm of the forgotten. The Old Norse word for dead people is not actually dead people. In Old Norse, the word is hagur, which literally means something like the outcast or the abandoned. And it's those two concepts that seem to sum up how the Vikings viewed death. Death was a time of abandonment. It was a time when you were cast out, sent away from the warm hearth of the living to face whatever may lie ahead. It's a chilling thought and one that pervades their culture, so much so that their entire concept of the afterlife was based around this. When a person died, they didn't go to some great hall in the sky or even down to the underworld. Instead, they went to a place called Niflheim. Now, Niflheim isn't really a place so much as a state of being. You could say that it was a void, an absence, a place where all memory and warmth was leached from the world until nothing remained. Niflheim was also the name of the realm from which the army of the dead emerged in Norse prophecy. The army of the dead came from the land of mist and ice. They marched across the ravaged landscape of Niflheim, rounding up the lost souls of the dead. With their numbers growing ever greater, they prepared to march across the whole of Jotunheim and bring destruction to the whole of creation. 4. Their leader is Hel, the queen of the underworld. The leader of the army of the dead is one of the most fascinating figures in all of Norse mythology. Her name is Hel, and she is the ruler of the underworld. As far as rulers of the underworld go, Hel is actually pretty chill. She doesn't torture anyone, nor does she demand sacrifices. She simply rules over her domain and waits for Ragnarök to come. Of course, her father wasn't so chill. Loki, yes, the trickster god, the bane of the Aesir, is Hel's father, making her half-sister to the god of mischief himself. Hel's mother, though, is Angerboda, a giantess, daughter of the primordial being Ymir, who was in turn the mother of all giants. The gods, upon learning that Loki had produced a daughter with Angerboda, became worried about the implications of this child. After all of Loki's other children had been monsters, and they feared that this daughter would follow in their footsteps. So they decided to banish her from Asgard and send her to rule over the underworld. It's a good thing that Hel turned out to be such a nice person, otherwise Ragnarök could have gone very badly indeed. 3. They sail the ship made of dead men's nails, Naglfar. One of the scariest images in all of Norse mythology is that of the ship Naglfar. This ship is not made of wood nor of metal, but of human fingernails and toenails. Imagine that. The thought of some grotesque creature picking up your shed toenail, saving it, hoarding it away until eventually it can build itself a ship with it. That's horrifying. Anyway, the ship is then crewed by the army of the dead, an army so large that it must sail across the whole of the ocean in order to fit them all on board. But once they are all on board, once Hel calls the ship into motion, then there is no hope for the rest of the Norse pantheon. None of the gods can stop it. Nothing can stand against its progress. Its sails, made of rotting flesh, billow in the wind, and it plows straight through the waves towards the shores of doom. 2. Their arrival signals the beginning of Ragnarök. Once the ship Naglfar leaves the underworld and sets sail for the shores of Midgard, then there is no turning back. The journey of the ship is impossible. It cannot fail. And every step of its passage brings with it the advance of Ragnarök. It's kind of like the opening of the gates of hell in Christian mythology, except in this case, it's more like the release of all of the ghosts that have been trapped inside. There is no battle with the army of the dead. There is no victory to be had. Only fear and resignation await. As they march, the sun grows dim and the stars fall from the sky. Earthquakes shake the whole of creation. Mountains crumble and the seas boil and churn. Storms rage like never before, and all of nature weeps at the passing of hell's host. By the time they reach land, all hope is lost. All that remains is for them to complete their terrible task. 1. Not even the gods can stop them. One of the truly terrifying things about the army of the dead is the fact that not even the gods can stop them. Thor tries. He lets loose his hammer, Mjolnir, and shatters the nails of Naglfar, only for new ones to grow in their place. Odin goes out to meet them, the All-Father, and he fights valiantly against the host of hell. But for every god that falls, 2 more rise to take their place. Not even Heimdall can stop them. And he's the watchman of the gods, the guy whose job it is to watch the approach of danger and warn the gods of its coming. But he sees the army of the dead, and he knows that there is nothing he can do. So he sounds the great horn, Gungnir, and rallies the gods to their last stand. The army of the dead is relentless. It's unstoppable. And it moves forward with chilling determination towards the final battle of Ragnarök. And no matter what the gods throw against them, they keep coming. It's a truly chilling prospect. No matter how strong you are, no matter how skilled you might be, even the gods are helpless against the army of the dead. And when it comes for you, well, then my friend, I'm afraid that there is nothing you can do to stop it. Well, that's all we have time for today. Thank you so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this episode of Echoes of the Past. If you did, please feel free to subscribe and leave a comment below to let us know what you thought. Also, if you would like to support the channel directly and get some really cool rewards for doing so, then why not check out our Patreon page? The link to that is provided below. Until next time, this is your host telling you to stay curious.